Hello and welcome to EmpowHER, the program that spotlights women who are trailblazers, innovators, and change makers. Women who are extraordinary and shaping our world with their courage, resilience, and their achievements. I am your host, Sharna J. And on today's episode of EmpowHER, we spotlight an outstanding woman whose impact cuts across leadership, empowerment, and sustainable development. She's a founder of iCherry Travels Global Concepts Ltd, a tourist consultant and facilitator of the Green Time Sustainable Initiative. She's a passionate advocate for youth and women empowerment. She has dedicated her career to creating opportunities, building human resource capacity, and driving initiatives that prepares people for global leadership. She's also a fellow of the Institute of Corporate Administration, bringing years of expertise in management, development, and corporate growth. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Charity Akpamgbo. Welcome, Ma. It's good to have you in the studio today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you're welcome. How are you doing, Ma? I hope you're good.
I'm very well, thank you.
All right, let's get straight into what we came here for. I know we are all excited to know about you, your journey, and literally everything that you stand for. Take us back to the beginning. What inspired your journey, into leadership, empowerment, and tourism consultancy?
I was inspired because I have this deep-rooted passion for impacting lives. So I think that was the major drive that inspired me going to, because everything I do, from the tourism to consultancy and all that, is trying to create solutions to existing problems, trying to impact lives, trying to help people, trying to direct people, trying to give people a guide, to discover themselves as well, and to discover whatever is missing, in them, in their businesses, that they feel they need to improve or enhance. So I think it's that deep passion for impacting lives that actually drove me into doing what I'm doing right now.
Amazing. But, you actually do a lot of things. You are a founder, you're a facilitator, you are a consultant, an advocate. That's quite a lot. And I believe you are doing really well in all of this. But how are you able to, balance these roles while keeping your passion alive?
I am able to balance these roles because I like to stay focused.
Okay.
So I set certain goals for myself and I stay focused on achieving those goals. I think that is the most important thing, because if you don't have a focus or a goal, then there's a lot of distractions, So when you're focused and you know what you really want to do, you just keep working on that right path to ensure that even when you have challenges and when you fall, you pick up yourself, because you know that this is exactly where I want to go. This is exactly where I want to be. So you drive yourself and also just keep moving forward.
But is it as easy as you've said it like that?
That's why I said, even when you have challenges, so because there are also challenges on the way. So when you have challenges, because you have a goal, that is why you have to pick up yourself and keep moving forward.
The goal is like a reminder of keep pushing.
Yeah, a reminder of what you want to achieve at the end of the day. So that's that self-determination, to move forward, that resilience, that nothing is pulling you back. That thing, knowing that, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Exactly. So that's what keeps pushing you. And the fact that you know that you're doing this, you're on a good course. You're doing it for the right reasons. So you keep moving.
No, you keep moving. Exactly. Yes. Now we see that you are an advocate for young women, you're an advocate for, youth empowerment and all of that. Now, I believe you've worked with lots of women, lots of youth. I believe when we say youth, we're not limiting it to just girls.
No.
So we're youth all around, boys, girls, of course, and also women empowerment. So you're into women empowerment and then youth empowerment.
Yes.
Now, I want to believe, just like I stated earlier, you've worked with these categories of people, young boys and girls, and you've worked with women. What, in your own experience, what are the biggest barriers women and young people face in the society?
The biggest barrier that I think women and young people face is lack of education and information. And also, I think that women are stereotyped. And I think also there's a huge societal expectation on the part of women, and also the lack of leadership, women in leadership position is another thing that is actually limiting women from really achieving their goals and impacting lives in the society.
When you talk about women's stereotype, all of this now, when you're talking to a layman, they're trying to understand what women's stereotype. Can you break it down? Like when you say women are stereotyped, what do you mean by that?
Okay, when you talk about stereotype, you say, okay, there are things that some positions that women should not handle. There are things that women should not do. This is meant for men. It is the men's world. So that's the stereotype. Okay. So when you start bringing those things, you're causing inequality in the system, and then you're limiting the opportunities of women to occupy certain positions that they are meant to occupy. So that's the stereotype. It really affects women because when you're supposed to be a manager, for instance, and they say the manager position is meant for men or because you're a single lady, you cannot do some roles because they prefer a woman who is more responsible because she's married. So the fact that you're married doesn't mean that is what you're more responsible than a single lady who also have passion for the same thing that you're doing. So that stereotype always comes in, plays a very big role in limiting the position of women or limiting women from achieving what they plan to.
That's really interesting and sad because, of course, I'm a woman. It's really sad. Let's go into your tourism side of you because maybe people don't understand. And we've been talking about your empowerment side of you and all of that, but of course, you are into tourism consultancy. As a tourist consultant and, of course, facilitator of the Green Time Sustainable Initiative, how do you see tourism driving sustainable development in Nigeria? When we talk about Nigeria, tourism is a bit, would I say, distance, when we want to name countries that are into tourism, I don't think Nigeria comes top of it. But I would like you to also, just share with us, how is tourism driving sustainable development in Nigeria?
Well, tourism is driving sustainable development even in Nigeria. Before now, maybe people don't talk a lot about tourism, but now Nigerians are being open to the fact that, tourism has come to stay and that we also have the potentials to move tourism. Tourism can really bring about empowerment. Tourism can actually create jobs. Tourism can actually bring about community development in different aspects. So tourism is actually a tool for sustainable development. So what we need to do in Nigeria is to keep looking into tourism to, explore more, see what other countries are doing that we are not doing, and then bring in those ideas and try to explore explore the tourism potentials that we have in Nigeria, explore the cultural exchange that we have in Nigeria. We want to talk about our heritage. These are things that we don't really talk about a lot in the past, but now everybody's talking about the diversity, in our culture. And everybody's also, and I can just say that tourism is one of the trending things right now. They talk about tourism every day on the television, media stations. There are events every day on tourism. So Nigeria is beginning to understand that tourism is another oil well. Tourism is another activity that we can use as a tool for economic empowerment.
Amazing. You talked about job creation, and I think you even chipped in empowerment when it comes to, tourism. If I wasn't into media, I most likely would not even think that tourism can actually create job. For a layman, they'll tell you, tourism, I want to go to that tourist site. They're just going there for pleasure, leisure, and all of that. People don't even think, that's a source of job creation and empowerment. So what do you think is the reason that they oversee or overlook, rather, the potential of tourism being a site for job creation?
Okay, I think one of the reasons why they don't really look at tourism as a tool for job creation is because we don't have the necessary infrastructure. We don't have the necessary awareness on the potentials of tourism. And then when you get to the grassroots, people have all of these natural resources at their backyard. They just see it as, okay, just as you say, leisure, let's go there and play, let's go there and take pictures. They don't know the value, of what they have. So when we now start talking about tourism sensitization, making people understand that, you see, people travel all the way from here to Europe for just to go and to go
See
and
their
feel the
tourist
summer,
sites, yeah.
tourist site, to go to the ocean, the beach. And we have all of that here. So why can't we enhance what we have? Because when you do that, you're creating a lot of job. Photographers, media people like you can also, enjoy all that. As the tourists come, people are around the beach selling things. That is job.
Yeah.
People are making business. Even when it comes to the community, this community have a lot of cultural, cultural dance, a lot of things about the community. It's only the community that can actually tell their story. So you can actually empower this community, teach them how to be tour guides, teach them how to be storytellers, teach them how to communicate with people effectively, so that people that come to their community will be able to enjoy not just the atmosphere of the community, see what they have, also see the people and the lifestyle of the people. And by so doing, you're giving that community an exposure. You're also giving the individuals that are involved an exposure as well. Exactly. You're empowering them, with knowledge and tools that they don't even know they have. And then you're also creating jobs for the community. So community tourism in different ways can really empower people and bring about growth and development of any economy.
Amazing. This is really educative. And of course, we now understand that tourism is not just for leisure and all of that. There is more to tourism than exactly. Well, let's come back to Nigeria. In everything we do, we definitely want to keep enhancing and all of that. And in as much as just only an individual cannot enhance the whole, countries, whatever, we want to believe that when we have individuals like you, contribute their own part to each of the things that we want to change in Nigeria, we believe that one time or eventually will be heard and something will be done. So if you are given the opportunity to change one policy in Nigerian tourism, because that is your bit, of course, what would that be?
Okay. If I'm given an opportunity to change one policy, I'm going to do a comprehensive tourism strategy that will bring about, or that will include sustainability, that will include cultural exchange, that will include community engagement, and that will also, bring about responsible conservation. Because that with Green Time, we preach environmental conservation and tourism. Because for me, I feel that tourism is all about the environment. So if you don't preserve the environment, if you don't preserve your culture, if you don't preserve the heritage, then there won't be anything for people to go to. There won't be anything to inspire people. That deep inner feeling and relaxation that you have when you go out there in a serene environment. When you go there and the environment is dirty and there are flies everywhere, you're not going to enjoy. You're not going to, it won't be appealing. It won't be comfortable for you. So we're going to talk about environmental sustainability as a tool to promote, tourism.
Amazing. Well, a lot has been said. We're going to go on a short break. When we return, we have more that Dr. Charity would be sharing with us. So stay with us.
Culture connects us beyond borders. It's a bridge between traditions, creativity, and the future.
Culture is alive, shaping identities and communities every day.
Art tells stories of resilience and vision.
Artists blend tradition with innovation.
Cultural preservation creates sustainability and empowerment.
Culture evolves and adapts.
Music and dance unites communities through movement.
And right here, in the heart of our cities, artists and creators are keeping these cultures alive.
On Culture Cove, let's explore,
celebrate, and preserve the arts and culture that define us.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is Empower. Dr. Charity, for people watching you now, people looking up to you, they want to know your challenges because some might be facing it and they're wondering, I'm looking up to Dr. Charity and I would really like to know our challenges and how to overcome them. So I'd like you to share your challenges with us, how you were able to overcome them, of course, before getting to this height.
Okay, I'll start by saying I seriously agree with you. There are challenges in every individual face challenges in whether it's business, in career and all that. So for me, I think the challenge I faced is uncertainty because one, I came out from the banking sector. From serving in the bank, I worked all the way for different banks.
Okay.
So when I was leaving that system, there was a lot of uncertainty, like what's going to happen? What do you want to do? So for me, it was a kind of, self-discovery. I have to look inwards. Where does my passion lie?
Nice.
Either you go back to corporate world or you start up something, for yourself. And whatever you want to do for yourself, you must have the passion to do that.
Yeah.
Because if you have the passion, for me now, I do these things seamlessly, effortlessly, because it's already in me. I don't really see it as work, even though it's work. And I enjoy doing it. So discovering myself, picking up myself and, looking out for people that will motivate me. So I just have to surround myself with people that I can learn from. People that will tell me you're doing the good thing, you're doing the right thing, just keep moving forward. People that will speak to you, your loved ones and all that. They have to buy into what you're doing because they know that you love what you're doing.
Exactly.
So surrounding yourself with the right people, getting guidance from the right mentors, are the ways of getting out of this thing. Then financially as well, what I want to believe is when I set my mind to do something, I like to see myself going through. If I'm not going to do it, there's no need starting it. So, but once I've set my mind to do it, I just go all the way. So when you're even seeing that, right now I don't have money, but the little money I have to put it there first. Let people see the little that you're doing and they'll be able to come and support you. You can't just sit down and fold your hands and say, I don't have money to start. How do I go about starting and all that? The little that you have, you can actually start something. So when you start something and people start seeing what you're doing, then you now see people being encouraged, by what you're doing. People want to support you. People want to associate with you. People want to come in. People even call you, how do we partner, to do this program because they see that you're doing something. When you've done something the first time with, even if it's an organization and they didn't support you, they just come. It's okay. Let them come and sit down because they want to see what you're doing. Exactly. So when you impress them, the next time you want to do that program and you approach them,
they'll rally around
they will now say, okay, we don't really have, but this is what we can do. This is how can we come in here, there. So that is it. I just think being, for me, determination, is one thing that takes me out of any negative challenge that I face in the course of my business.
Amazing. Well, as a youth and women empowerment, let's even focus more on the women empowerment.
Okay.
If you could suggest an initiative or a policy to better empower women in Nigeria, what would that be?
Okay, policy to better empower women.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to talk about women education, then vocational training for women, and skills acquisition for women. And then there's something else. It's not just about training these women and empowering them. You also need to assist them with probably a startup kit because you can actually come and train women and everybody acquire that knowledge, the business knowledge and all that, but they cannot really start. So you need to provide like mentors for them, like guides for them. And if it is the government that is, when it's policy, because it's coming from the government, there should also be a budget, for startup so that these women can start something. So when they start, they can now be learning from their mistakes and all that. You fail, you learn, you ask questions, you pick up yourself, you continue. So basically that's what I'm going to advise. I'm going to focus more on women education because when you educate a woman, they said you educate the whole world.
I love that. When you educate a woman, you educate the whole world. Really, really.
So when you educate a woman, you empower her and the women are strong fighters. She'll be able to empower more more people.
Exactly.
So in that way, a lot of people are gaining more knowledge, gaining information, and also empowering themselves and their communities.
Amazing. I'm going to read something from the World Travel Tourism Council, a data that they had collected, and I would just want to get your view on it. According to the World Travel Tourism Council, they made a data saying women in tourism comprise a significant portion of the sector's workforce. Okay. Accounting to nearly 40% of the total employment. And this marks a substantial increase from 2010 to 2019, highlighting a 24% surge in direct female employment within the sector. That's it, increasing from 38.6 million to 47.8 million. Now, according to this report, what's your opinion about it as a woman in tourism? In tourism, I don't want to talk about your feeling because I already know. But what do you feel about this? Just give us.
I feel it's actually a very good feeling. Yeah. That women are discovering themselves, and women, because tourism, as I said earlier, has to do with passion. There was a seminar I went to, and one man said, if you don't have a job, if you don't have anything to do, go into tourism. Because you can start with talking to people. You can start with visiting the parks that are free, and taking people out there. So when you go to a school and you say, I want to take you people for excursion, you go to an organization and say, okay, please, I want to bring people here, and I don't really have, this is my first time. They will always want to understand with you, so how do we go about it? Everybody needs the visibility. Even the organization where you want to take these students to, they need the visibility as well. So when you tell them, okay, I want to bring students to come to your facility to learn more about what you do here, to learn more about maybe the animals or plants or whatever you have there that can boost tourism, they accept. So you can go back to the school and say, okay, I want to take your students to this place. This is how much you're going to pay. That will cover. Or do you have a school bus? If they have a school bus, at least for yourself, you can, take something very little for a start, because you're trying to build a relationship. Yeah. If you go with something very high, they may just we are not doing things like that. So you can start very little, and from there you're building yourself. It's profiling. By the time you go to another school and you say, I took so school to so place, you already have a referral.
Exactly.
So gradually like that, with nothing, you can actually start.
Yes.
So women are beginning to discover that, okay, they can actually do this with word of mouth, with your social media, with, the internet. Everybody is privileged to those opportunities. On your Facebook, you can start posting your events, things you do, and everybody will start knowing you. So I'm actually very happy that women are going into that.
I wanted to say, if you were to put a feeling, to it, but you already said it, you're happy. Of course, you're a woman, you're an advocate for women empowerment, so I believe you are definitely happy. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Dr. Charity, for coming on Empower, and thank you for your insightful knowledge that you shared with us. We really appreciate it. Thank you once again. Well, that's it on Empower. I am your host, Sharna J. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, see you.